$77. Are you in agreement to pay that?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, are you currently employed?
No, ma'am.
And tell the judge your age.
I'm 15.
And sir, are you currently enrolled in high school?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are you going to, what's your grade in high school?
I'm getting my credits to be in the right, but I'm supposed to be a sophomore right now.
In this case are minors. They're appearing with the next of friend, paternal, and maternal grandmothers.
Okay, then the court reporter need everybody's name. So let's see. They need everybody on 36 to unmute and turn your cameras. Should be. I think there's 3 of you.
Yes, mother and maternal grandmother are sharing the same device.
Okay. All right. So we have Aiden McElroy is present. Tiffany A. Jones is present. Miss Jones, your mother there. What is her name so the court reporter can write that down?
Simone Blaylock.
How do you spell your first name?
Simone, and it has a little accent mark on the end.
Okay. Miss Jones, is that good with you?
Yes, that's fine. Next
Okay,
person.
and then the other Mr. McElroy's here on a different device, which is fine. And then his mother, I guess, is his mother.
Yes.
Can you tell me your name, please?
Lakeisha Choice.
Spell your first name.
Lakeshia.
Okay. All right then. All 4 of you. All you all swear the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, a brief opening. As I mentioned before, the evidence will show that both the mother and the father are 15 years old in this case. As mentioned previously, they have appeared with their own parent. We have reached a partial agreement and we do have some contested issues. I will be calling the parents first, and then we'll be hearing from each of the child's grandparents when I call the corresponding parent. The first person I call is the mother, the biological mother of the child. Miss Jones, can you state your name for the record?
Tiajane Jones.
And ma'am, can you state the name and age of the child in this case?
He's 8 months.
And ma'am, how old are you?
15.
And ma'am, are you here today with your mother?
Yes.
And what's her name?
Simone Blaylock.
And I will take testimony from you first, okay? And then I'll talk to your mother. Ma'am, Miss Jones, did you take a DNA test in this case?
Yes.
And what were the results of that test?
They were positive.
Your Honor, I would like to share my screen to share those results and ask that they be admitted as State's Exhibit 1.
Go ahead.
All right, this is a DDC results. And when we scroll down, the father cannot, the alleged father, Aiden McElroy, cannot be excluded. I ask that this be admitted.
It's admitted.
Ms. Jones, we've reached some agreements on your case. Is that true?
Yes.
We have agreed that the child should remain on Medicaid. Is that correct?
Yes.
And we have stipulated that the child lives with you, correct?
Yes.
And that you do not live with the father, correct?
Correct.
We have stipulated that that medical support should be ordered in the amount of $10. Do you agree to that?
Yes.
And that is pretty much all of the agreements that we've reached. Is that correct?
Yes.
And ma'am, do you live in Dallas County?
Yes, ma'am.
And to your knowledge, what county does the father live in?
I am not sure.
Terrence.
Only Ms.
I
Jones should answer, not anybody else.
I'm sorry.
All right. And ma'am, are you okay with a restriction on the child's address to Dallas and surrounding counties?
Wait, can you, I'm not sure.
Do
Can
you
you,
want,
restate the question?
yeah, are you okay with promising for the child to stay in Dallas and surrounding counties till the child is 18? Do you want to make that promise or do you not want to make that promise?
No.
Okay. Do you have any plans of moving?
Yes.
Where are you moving to?
I'm not sure, but in the future, but I know I will want to get out the Dallas area
Why would you want to get out of the Dallas area?
just for, just a better environment around me and my son.
Okay.
Not any
And ma'am,
particular reason.
are you asking the judge to be named a joint managing conservator today or a sole managing conservator today?
A sole managing conservator.
Who makes the day-to-day decisions over the child's life today?
Excuse me. I think I should.
Okay, who's made decisions in the past regarding the baby?
Me.
Okay, has the father not participated?
No.
Okay. Has there been any instances of family violence between you and the father of the child?
No.
Okay. And ma'am, the state calculated child support in this case, is that correct?
Yes.
And when the state calculated child support, we did it at minimum wage times 18 hours. Is that correct?
Yes.
And is it true that we did that? And we did that because the father is still enrolled in high school. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And as such, the state came up with the child support amount in the amount of $77. Do you understand that?
I understand, but I really don't agree with the $77. I feel like it should be higher.
Okay, what are you requesting the judge order child support at?
Maybe 50 a week or 150 a month.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to say?
No, that'll be all.
Okay. I pass the witness. I call the maternal grandmother. Ma'am, can you state your name for the record?
Yes, ma'am. It is Simone Blaylock.
And ma'am, what is your relationship to Miss Jones?
I am her mother.
And ma'am, I know we are not in agreement to some of the issues, but are you in agreement with Medicaid being ordered for the future?
Yes. Yes,
And
ma'am.
for the father to be ordered to pay medical support in the amount of $10.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are okay. One second. Okay, and you are in agreement for retroactive amount in the amount of $616 to be paid off at $20 a month. Are you okay with that?
I'm not in agreement with that. I would, well, she said with retro.
Ms. Jones, you cannot direct your mom how to testify, okay? Just like she can't chime in, you can't chime in.
So I am not in agreement. I think it should be higher.
Okay,
I think
because
that the
you
whole
think child support should be higher. Is that correct?
correct. Yes, yes,
All
ma'am.
right. And ma'am, are you in agreement with your daughter that the judge should order a sole managing conservatorship?
I am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and why should there not be joint managing conservatorship in this case?
Because we've been having him this whole time. We've gave them an opportunity. I paid for a DNA test. They did not show up. Um, Also, bonding is important with the baby and mother as well, very important. And Nolan is super attached to his mom. He's very attached to his mom more than anybody in the world. So um, she's not currently breastfeeding because something happened with her. But she's gonna start back breastfeeding as well. So she'll breastfeed from now until he's 2 years old. She's not currently, and I don't want to say this on camera in front of everybody. It's kind of personal, but she will start back here pretty soon.
Okay, and ma'am, I'll have to ask the mom this in a second, but what visitation do you think is appropriate for this case?
I think every other weekend is appropriate.
The standard possession order?
The first, third, and fifth weekends. Mhm.
Okay. Is there any plans on your daughter moving out of the Dallas or Tarrant County area?
Yes. I'm waiting. I work for the government. I'm waiting. I just applied for a job at another government facility. So it's in California. So I'm just waiting on my answer.
Okay, and you've been offered that job or you applied?
So I apply. So I've applied for it. They're just because I kind of know somebody on the inside. I work at the Dallas VA hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I basically got the job. We're just waiting on a few things.
Okay, but no formal offer letter just yet. Is that correct?
Correct. Mhm.
Okay, and if you move, are you planning for your daughter to join you and your grandson or grandchild right now?
Yes.
Okay. Is there what do you think child support should be set at?
I think $200 a month.
Okay. I pass this witness. I just recall the mom on two short things.
Okay.
Um,
Thank you.
Ms. Jones,
Yes,
are you also in disagreement with the retroactive amount?
yes,
And are you okay with the standard possession order?
yes.
I pass these witnesses. I call the father. Sir, can you state your name for the record?
Ada McElroy.
And sir, are you okay with paying $10 a month for Medicaid?
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, do you have any insurance available through you or through your mom?
No.
Okay. And sir, are you okay with paying retroactive amount in the amount that the state calculated?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And sir, are you asking this court for joint or sole managing conservatorship?
Joint.
Okay. Do you think going forward, you and the mother can work together to make decisions?
Yes, ma'am.
Is what is your response to you not being to the mother's testimony that you had not been involved?
I feel like it was just lack of communication. I mean, we wasn't really talking. It was really just my mother talking to them. So really, any conversations that they had, it went through my mom.
Okay. And sir, what county do you live in?
Terrence.
Okay. And would you like for the child to be required to live in Dallas, Tarrant, and surrounding counties?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Um, and sir, the state has calculated child support in this case in the amount of $77. Are you in agreement to pay that?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, are you currently employed?
No, ma'am.
And tell the judge your age.
I'm 15.
And sir, are you currently enrolled in high school?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are you going to, what's your grade in high school?
Uh, I'm I'm getting my credits to be in the right grade, but I'm supposed to be a sophomore right now.
Okay, and what time do you, start and end school?
Start at 7 and end at 3.
Okay, thank you. And, what visitation would you like in this case?
2 weeks.
2 weeks when? 2 weeks a month,
2 weeks a
2 weeks?
month. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you want to do 50-50 possession, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, have you ever done that before with the mother?
Probably not 2 weeks straight, but I have had him for more than a week before. Yes.
Okay. And how would that work when the child is old enough to go to school?
Um, I'm not sure. I'm.
You're not sure.
I
Okay.
mean, take him to school like when he's over here, I guess.
Okay. And the mother lives in Dallas County, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you live in Tarrant County, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Has there been any family violence between you and the mother?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to say?
No.
Okay. I pass this witness and I call um Miss Lakeisha. Miss Lakeisha, can you state your full name for the record?
Lakeisha Choice.
And Miss Choice, what is your relationship to Aiden?
Aiden is my son. I'm his mother.
Okay. And ma'am, you're okay with Medicaid and medical support to be ordered at $10 a month,
Yes.
and you're okay with retroactive as calculated by the state.
Correct.
Do you join your son and ask for joint managing conservatorship?
Yes.
Do you join your son and ask for a geographic restriction to Dallas and Tarrant County?
Yes.
What visitation do you think is appropriate?
As my son stated, we're looking to have him half of the month. So 2 weeks, if there's 2 weeks in a month, 4 weeks in a
Okay.
month, 2 weeks. So,
And how would that work when the child is old enough to go to school?
then I honestly am, my lease is coming up. So I was looking to move towards Dallas to keep this more convenient for her. So,
Okay.
it would be wherever school he goes to, we would take him during the time that we have him.
And would your child be able to pay child support in this case?
No, he doesn't work.
Okay, so you are not in agreement with the $77 that the state is requesting?
Good way to, sorry. Yes, he can pay it.
He can pay that amount.
Yes.
What is your response to him, the mother's and the grandmother's request for that to be increased to $150 or $200 a month?
I'm well, if I wasn't or we were not requesting 50% of the time, then I can agree. Maybe a little more could be paid. Of course it would come from me. But however, we would like to have him just as much as it's important for them to bond. It isn't it's a son. It's important for him to bond with his dad. So we want to make sure, you know, they're having that time. So
Okay, is there anything else that you would like to say?
in reference to the conservatorship and any of these issues, really, I just wanted us to all be cohesive. We are in love with. We've had him over here for a few times, and standard possession that I'm a parent. So I just like she wants to have him. We want him over here as well, and we want everyone to be able to do it together, not she say and we follow, or we say and she follow. We want to, be a family. We want to be cohesive. That's all.
Okay, I pass this witness and I don't have a closing.
Okay. All right, Mr. McElroy, Ms. Jones, just gonna kind of start here is y'all should be kids right now. You shouldn't be adults. Y'all are entering being adults. I'm sure neither one of your mothers are very happy about that. Y'all can't even drive yet. You can't even really get a job yet. I mean, the best time of our life is when we're in high school. Pretty much, almost everybody would agree that's the best and most fun time. And instead, y'all have chosen to transition yourselves from being a kid to being an adult immediately. Obviously, we can't change time and we can't do anything like that, but y'all are kids trying to be adults. Y'all need to try to be kids as much as you can, but unfortunately now y'all have an obligation to support this child that is going to prevent some of that. You wanted to be parents, you wanted to act like an adult, and now you're gonna have to be you're gonna be doing some adult things that you probably didn't anticipate doing. What I don't want you to happen, and hopefully both moms have already had a conversation with, and what I see very often in cases like yours is y'all decide to have another child together. I hope that's not something in your plan, because y'all can't even take care of yourselves. Your parents are taking care of you. Don't make it harder on them. I'm sure they want you to get an education and go to college and find a good job and those kinds of things so you can take care of yourself rather than being in a child support court today. So y'all got to help them as well, uh, so that and listen to them. They're smart. I see it. Both mothers here, grandmothers are very intelligent ladies. They know what they're talking about, and y'all need to listen to them better. You weren't listening to them before, which is why we got here. Um, so uh, you know, um, obviously we got to do an order here today, and that's there's no easy way to do it one way or the other. But let me go ahead and enter my ruling. Okay, so we did DNA testing. They say that Mr. McElroy is the father. So we're doing a legal establishment that he's the biological father in the court order. Nobody has private insurance available at a reasonable cost. So Ms. Jones is going to apply for government Medicaid. Medical support is set at $10 a month. Now, so when we do orders, we talk about geographic restrictions because we want both parents to be involved in raising their child. When we have an actual case where people are not both involved, maybe that's the reason why we wouldn't do a restriction. I don't think y'all have had enough time to even know whether that what's going to happen or not. See, being that the child is so young, it sounds to me probably I could read between the lines that y'all haven't been able to reach agreements on anything, probably because your romantic relationship is probably more important to you than what your child is what I'm guessing. And you're 15, that's not something you even know how to even discuss yet. So I don't think it should be a thing where the child should be taken away. Now that may affect you, Miss Blaylock. Of course, you want your daughter to go with you, and she's young, but she cannot take the child out of this area. I understand you. If you want to make some other provisions for somebody else to take care of your daughter and grandchild, that's up to you. But I'm not making you stay here, Miss Blaylock. But the child must remain in Dallas or any contiguous counties. Um, y'all. Uh, you committed your mom, I guess, to staying here as well until you can take care of yourself, which is still going to be some several years from now. Um, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not telling Miss Blaylock what to do. I have no control over Miss Blaylock, but the child must remain in Dallas or contiguous counties. Okay, so I'm making a geographic restriction to this area. So you cannot move with the child. The child cannot move. And the reason for that, of course, is like I said, that we want both of you to be involved. If you move to California, there's no way that Mr. McElroy is going to be physically involved with the raising of his child. Um, the I'm making a finding there's been no family violence. Thankfully, at least we don't have that. Um, Child support, I'm setting it $100 a month instead of 77. Mr. McElroy, instead of making more babies, you need to get to work on the weekends, mowing a lawn or cleaning some cars. I mean, there's not much formally you can do right now. You can't work probably at a fast food place yet because you're not old enough. But you can definitely mow a lawn and rake some leaves and wash some cars to raise the amount so that you don't have to make your mom do that. Um, we need to get you occupied so you don't have another child. So let's get you on getting a job and doing those things. and keep you away from doing other things that are not good. Okay, so you got to make your payments. Don't make your mom pay your payments for you. You were old enough to create this baby. Now you got to be old enough to pay up. Okay,
Yes.
$100 is not a very large amount, and I understand. Of course, that means that mother and grandmother are going to be footing a lot more of these bills here because the payments are so low. I'm not setting a court date, but we really need to revisit this case when y'all turn 18 to increase support. So let's kind of keep that in mind for when y'all both turn 18. We need to increase support at that point. But obviously, Mr. McElroy is kind of limited in how much income he can receive or he can receive and how much he can pay. So I've got to limit it somehow. There's not much I can do there. Ms. Jones, you should be more occupied with your time, taking care of your baby, and that maybe that'll keep you from having more babies too until you're ready. Again, you may need to go to work too, and you could also mow some lawns and do some other things too to make some money to help your mom out. Um, as far as the conservatorship, there's been no family violence, so I'm entering that y'all are going to be joint managing conservators, which is not joint custody. I'm not doing joint custody. Ms. Jones will be the one to determine the primary residence of the child, and y'all need to, you and Mr. McElroy and Ms. Jones, y'all have to figure out a way to communicate as adults, not through your mothers. Y'all did communicate it before. You have a child now, then y'all have to figure out a way to communicate with each other. I know grandmothers will be involved a little bit, but y'all, there's only three people here that are really the main primary parties here. And y'all got to figure out a way to communicate, even though you may not like each other, even though you may not like so and so's girlfriend or boyfriend in the future. Y'all have to figure out a way to communicate a lot better than you have. All right. We're doing a visitation. We're doing a standard visitation order, which means Mr. McElroy has a right to visit on the first, third, and fifth weekends of the month from Friday at 6 until Sunday at 6. If we're going to start with breastfeeding again, that means you'll have to provide breast milk to Mr. McElroy so that he can feed the child the breast milk as much as possible during his weekend. There's also visitation every Thursday night from 6 to 8 every week, and then a month in the summer, which we shouldn't have to worry about for several months now, that Mr. McElroy will have the child. As far as retroactive child support, still kind of my hands are tied here. I understand what you're saying, Ms. Blaylock, but there's your daughter made a choice to find a guy that doesn't have a lot of money, so I can't really order him to pay a lot of money for the past. So I'm going to grant the judgment of the $616 payable at $20 a month until paid in full. I'm going to waive court costs since I know neither parent really has an ability to pay court costs anyway. And I think that's all the issues I'm supposed to have resolved. I know y'all have a lot of issues to resolve, but y'all got to figure out a way to communicate. Again, y'all are not ready to have another child with each other or with somebody else. So hopefully y'all will figure out how that all works, because we want y'all to do well and raise your child and have the money to give your child everything and not depend on your mother to do that. Y'all got to get to work, and y'all are speeding up the process that we really wouldn't have liked. I'm sure that we wouldn't like to be grandparents at this age, but we are now. So y'all got to figure out a way to do things more positively. Mr. McElroy, you got to finish high school so you can get a job. And maybe you need to go to technical school or something like that in addition, if they have that available at your school, so that you can get to work quicker. So anyways, I hope that works. I know it's not perfect, but that's the order that I'm entering based on what y'all have testified to and the evidence you presented. The Attorney General's office will put that in a court order for me to sign and email you a copy, and that'll be the order of the court. All right. Y'all are done with court today. You can press leave on the Zoom to exit out.
Sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. On 1 month in the summer, which month is that?
It'll be depending on when you read the order, it'll say in there July 1st or July 31st, unless the father gives you notice that he wants to change it to a different 30 days in the summer.
Okay. And also, how does the holiday schedule work?
You just read it in the court order. It'll all be in there. It's basically every other year. Okay. All right, thank y'all.